All right, fellas, thanks for sticking around. You ran into a buzzsaw tonight. Not acceptable by our team. A lot that I gotta think about, a lot that I gotta do. As the head coach of this program, it's my responsibility, and I'm very disappointed. Very good football team, Oregon, there's no doubt about it. They played with a heck of an edge. We didn't. That's really what, it wasn't for a lack of effort, it just wasn't, it was not execution. And that falls back on the coach. So, we'll get it fixed. We got 6 days to do it. Questions?
Greg, as a defensive coach, 750 total yards for Oregon, 415 rushing yards for Oregon. Are you embarrassed by those numbers?
Embarrassed is a tough word, Steve. Embarrassed would be if you didn't have guys and players and coaches that are working their tail off. I'm very disappointed in those numbers. I would agree with you. 750 is a huge number, one that I've never, I can't say I've never seen it, I don't remember it ever. So, yeah, we have to, again, I have to take a hard look at everything, everyone, and 40 minutes after the game is not the time to take a look at it. We'll have some tough nights and days here and figure out what we need to do. Yeah, you know, it was funny. Before I come up here, I meet with Jimmy and some staff members, just always to gather my head, right? And when you apologize for something, that means you didn't do the very best you could. You did the very best you could. It wasn't what was needed, but that it wasn't where I look back at the week and say, what didn't you do? I can't speak for everybody. I don't know what people do when I'm not with them. But I felt like they worked their tail off this week. Everybody, staff, players. Sometimes this happens. 750, that doesn't happen. We gotta figure that out.
Greg, you talked about getting this fixed in 6 days. Can this defense get fixed? It just seems like every week it's getting worse and getting up bigger numbers. And does that fix come with a changing staff or changing who plays or a change?
Yeah, like I said, 40 minutes after the game is not the time to make critical decisions, right? I will do that. I will think about it. Been here before. I haven't been here in 37 years now. I've been here before. But you really gotta think. You don't want to be impetuous and just do whatever comes with your feelings. I'll tell you, if you just watch the way they played till the very end, there's no unraveling. That's why I tell you, we're not at that level right now, but it wasn't from a lack of fighting and trying and doing those things. We're just not at that level. And look, we ran into a team that they had a chip today, right? After what happened, and we didn't play with that same violence or toughness that we played out in Washington. I told you after the game in Washington, I thought that they played. And then when I watched the game on the ride home, we played with physicality out there. I don't know, I gotta watch tonight's, but it didn't feel that way to me, that same physicality. Now again, everything goes back to your opponent. They're one of the probably top 5 teams in America, talent-wise, well coached, so my hat's off to them, but we have to figure out our situation. I'm not too concerned with theirs.
Flipping to the other side, the offense only managed 200 yards, 8th at its worst performance yet this season. The offense, for the first time this season, didn't get off to that fast start that it's gotten off to. I guess what attributed to that, and how do you regroup and fix that going into next week?
Yeah, those are all questions that we worked on. Heck, if I knew it this fast, I would have fixed it during the game. Right? And I don't mean that flippantly. We have to look at it and figure out what the issues were. We turned the ball over more than we ever have. That's not our formula for success. We actually took the ball away a couple times, which that's been hard to do lately. So, but I'm not into looking for any positives tonight. This was not acceptable. And when you ask that question about the fans, the thing that bothers me is that they did come out and they did spend their money to come here, and I wish we could have done a better job for them. sorry part, that sort of embarrassed part, that doesn't fly with me. That should only be for if you didn't put in hard day's work. And I think everybody in this program did, just wasn't good enough today. So we will figure it out, though, I promise you.
Coach, I just spoke with the opposing team's head coach, and he had nothing, compliments to say about this team. He pretty much said, this record doesn't represent how good this team is. Do you feel the same way? Just how the season is going, do you feel the record represents how good this team actually is?
Well, I'm a believer you are what your record says you are. You can have whatever feelings and thoughts you want, but they're theories. That's why you have a scoreboard, and that's why you have a record. So, right now we're 3-4 football team, but that's if you look at the whole thing. Right now we're 0-1. We put everything we got into each week, so I look at it every week as this is the Oregon season. We put everything we had into the Oregon season, and we're 0-1. But tomorrow we'll review it, and then we got to flush it because now we're on to the Purdue season. And if you don't do that, guys, then it does. Then it can. What was the word you used? Unravel. I think one thing we've been able to do around here is keep it. This is a different season, and we're going to go after it this week. And that's what we'll do. And only those that show me that that's truly what they're doing will get the chance to go coach or play. You got to look at everything. So it starts looking at me because I'm the leader and I didn't get it done today.
Final question?
Ian didn't play in the second half. What is he dealing with, and are you concerned long term?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about injuries, but he had something that we felt was significant enough not to go back. He tried, and the reality is, heck, if it was a 7-point ball game, would he have kept playing? Who knows? I don't know if it's what level it is yet. We tried, and it wasn't where he could play, and I didn't want to get him hurt worse. That's oftentimes what happens if you can't play at full speed, and you take a shot. And, the game at halftime was out of hand. So, all right, guys. Again, thank you for covering us. Appreciate you sticking around.
Thanks.